Explanation has been added to Rule 10 to clarify the cost of transportation of imported goods, including ship, timber charges on the chartered vessels, and light rate charges or bag rate charges. Light rate charges or bag rate. The explanation is to take care of the case of importers of time chartered vessels and bulk carrier discharging goods on the high seas needed to additional expenditure for delivery when the place of importation mentioned in section 10 to C. This place of importation observed in the Supreme Court case of the Garden Silk Mills Limited versus Union of India 1999 VLT 358 means a place where the imported goods reach the landmass of India in the customs area of the port and the airport or land customs station, and if they are consumed before reaching the landmass of India. The place of consumption therefore is case where the ship is demurrage charges are paid by the importer for detention of the ships in the harbor before touching the landmass on the docks are the place of consumption. These charges would be included in the cost of transportation, similar in the case where the bigger mother ships cannot enter the harbor for any reason and the goods are bought or docked by seller. Small sellers like barges, small boats, etc. The cost incurred by the importers for bringing the goods to the landmass or the place of consumption must be light rail charges, barrage charges, or will be included in the cost of transportation. The explanation has been added to the rule tone whether relates to the rejection and declaration value to bring more clarity to the objective of exercising the authority for rejection and declared value. The explanation clarifies that the rule as much does not provide some method of determination of value. It is merely provides a mechanism and procedure for rejected for the declared value in the case of certain cases. It is also classified that where the proper officer to satisfy after the consultation of the importer, the declaration value shall be accepted. This explanation also given certain illustration reason which would be a basis of which the doubt about the truth and accuracy of the declared value. Circulation number 39-117, CUS dated 26/6/2017 has been issued to clarify the amendment of 10 to import and valuation rule of 7. The circular clarifies as follows: the valuation of the imported and the imported goods in the government by the provision of Section 14 of Customs Act 1962 and the rules made therein. The customs valuation determined by the value of imported goods 2007 contains a detailed provision of arriving at the transaction value of the imported goods on which customs duty is levied. After the examination and public consultation, the government has amended the CVR notification 91/2017 customs data 26 now September 2017 explain how. Define the term place of importation. The term place of importation means used in the CVR. Hereby, the term has not defined. To bring the clarity, the place of importation has been defined as the place of importation means a custom station where the goods are bought or being cleared of the home consumption or being removed for deposit in warehouse. The view of the definition transaction value of the imported goods in terms of Section 14 of Customs Act 1962, which include cost incurred for the place of importation and defined above. Computation of rights and insurance. Now, second and the fourth provision of the rule to impact more clarity in consumption of transportation and insurance charges. When accrued at the end, the individual elements are not known. But the cumulative value of a freight on board and freight on board and insurance are known. Treatment of transshipment charges. By virtue of the sixth provision of the Rule 10 to a cost related by transshipment of goods from the ports to the ICDs or port to port or port to CFS or airport to airport, etc. within India will be excluded, providing uniform treatment to different modes of transportation and shipment. Inland container deposit (ICD) and container freight station (CFS) handle all the customs formalities related to import and export of goods. The primary function of ICD, inland container deposit and container freight stations, are dispatch and delivery of cargo, stuffing and stripping of the containers, and customs clearance, temporary storage of cargo, and which maintains or repair and container shipment. The key difference of ICD and CFS under inland container depot and container freight station. The ICD is a custom station as a port and air cargo unit for the purpose of unloading of imported goods and loading of exported goods on a class of such goods. Inland container station depot. Container freight station. The CF is also a custom area located in the jurisdiction of Principal Commissioner, Commissioner of Customs Excise control over a specific custom port, airport, lands custom station. It is also an extension of the custom station set up within the main objective of decongestion the port. ICT can have an independent existence as if it is a self-contained custom station. The CFS by itself cannot have an independent existence. It has to link to the custom station within the jurisdiction of principal commissioner of customs. The custom manifest, bill of entry, shipping bill, and other declarations are filled in ICD. Further assignment of all activities related to clearance of goods for home use, warehouse, temporary admission, re-export, temporary storage of outward shipments, outward carry shipments are taken place in ICD. The CF is only the part of customs process. Mainly examination of goods is normally carried out and the goods are stuffed into container and restuffed. An aggregate of segregation of cargo also takes place. The air freight station AFS on an off-airport common user facilitated equipment with a fixed installation and minimum requirement and offering service of handling and temporary storage of import and export cargo wise. The CFS handle maritime cargo and AFS means and handle air cargo. Levy of social welfare surcharge and import goods. Social welfare charges 10% as we lead on the import goods for the detailed discussion. A levy of agriculture infrastructure development cess on import goods. The agriculture infrastructure development cess has been levied on the notified imported goods as specified rate for determining the discussion referred in the para 16 of chapter. Valuation of goods cleared by 100% EOE in the depot where the sale of DTA is affected through consumer circular number 933 23 210 SEX data 2016 2000 clarify that the value of goods clear from the 100% export oriented understanding to the depot from where the sale there in domestic tariff area is affected. The consignment agent have been determined by sequential application from Rule 3 to Rule and Customs Valuation Tools determine the price of imported goods. Determines accessible value in the case where sale of warehoused goods before cleared from home consumption issue. Where the accessible value of the warehouse goods which are sold before being cleared for home consumption should be taken as a price of which original importer has sold the goods before the bill of entry of home consumption is filled. Clarification Section 14 of Customs Act provides that the value of imported goods is a transaction value goods. Transaction value is defined to mean that the price actually paid or payable for the goods when sold for export to India to delivery at time and place of importation. In the instance case, the goods are sold after being warehoused, therefore it cannot be said the exported goods has not completed, and the sale of warehouse goods cannot be considered a sale of export to India. Hence, the price at which imported goods are sold after warehousing them in India does not quantify to be a transaction under Section 14. However, it may be noted as 3 Section 8K of Customs Tariff Act 1975 specifically provide that the goods deposited in the warehouse under the provision of Customs Act 1962 are sold to any person before clearance for home consumption or export under the said act, the value of the goods for the purpose of calculating the interest tax shall be higher of the last transaction which initially imported value whichever is higher. Mother Mary Hospital Research Center imports a machine from the Delta Scientific Equipment Chicago House Research. The price of the machine is settled by US $5,000. Machine shipped on 10th April. Meanwhile, the hospital authorized negotiation reduction in price as a result. Delta Scientific Equipment reduced the price by $850 and the device given 4,150 and Telex data 15th April. Commission arrived at 18th April. The Commission Customs declared that the original price of the transaction value was ground and the price is reduced after the has been shipped. Do you agree the stand of Commission give a reason for the import? No, the Commission approach is not correct in law. As per Section 14 of Customs Act, the transaction value of the goods in the price actually paid or payable for the goods at the time of place of importation. For the Supreme Court in case of the Garden Silk versus Union of India has held that importation gets complete when the goods became part and mass of the good part of the mass of the goods within the country. Therefore, since the instant case, the price of the goods were reduced while they are in transit, it could not be a content that the price was revised after the importation take place. Hence, the price should be valued as per the reduced price, which was the price actually paid at the time of importation. Illustration 4. A has imported goods from Finland due to deep draft of the port. Such goods have been taken to the jetty, the port where unloaded on outer arcage and the charges incurred by unloading transport of goods outer the arcage is jetty in barges of small boat where 1,35,000. A claims that the charges part of the loading and unloading charges and should be deemed to be included in CAF value of the goods. Made under section 10 to be the customs valuation determine the value of imported goods. So discuss tenability of claim. As per the rule 2DA, the place of importation means custom station where the goods are bought or being cleared for home consumption or for being removed for deposit in warehouse. Therefore, the outer anchorage where the goods are unloaded should not be the place of importation. Rule 10(2)(a) stipulates that the purpose of Section 14(1) of Customs Act and the valuation rules value the importing goods shall be the value of such goods shall include cost of transportation, loading and unloading, handling charges associated with the delivery of imported goods to the place of importation. Therefore, in the case where the big mother vessel cannot be entered the harbor for any reason, goods are bought on the docks by smaller vessels like barges, costs incurred by the importer for bringing the goods to the landmass or the place of consumption. Such barge charges will also be included in the cost of transportation. Therefore, a claim is not tenable in law. Customs valuation, determination of value of export goods rule 2007.